Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel for another interesting review and another Mittelfränkisches Bier. The beer style I'm not actually sure of, but it comes from Wendelsteiner Brauhaus and comes in this Euro bottle shape, as you can see, which is a quite popular bottle shape, as I used to mention, for many small Franconian brewers. Like this one is a good example of. It's founded by Markus Gurnisch, who is the owner and brewmaster of this brewery. I bet it's a one-man business, this brewery. It was sent to me by Markus Gurnisch, so big thanks to him. If I got it right, it's a quite old brewery that has been closed down and then restarted again by Markus. Or it's a new brewery founded by him. I'm really not sure of that, but let's find out that later on in the review while I read some information from his website about it. But let's take a closer look at the label. Here you see the top cap, Aus Tradition Privat, and here you see the main label, Wendelsteiner Bier, does it say, as you can see. Brauhaus Wendelstein, and here's the back label with some information. Wendelsteiner Bier, Kerwa, Seidla, Zutaten, Brauwasser, Malz, Hopfen, Hefe. Yeah, and some more information that I will go through later on in the review. But I think we'll start with open up the bottle. Now when we know a little bit about it, it's open up the crown cap like this and pour it up into the for the beer style well-fitting glass. Always important to use the right type of glass. In my opinion, it helps the right aroma to be unleashed, and in this case it creates very much foam, as you can see, but it's just a positive thing because it unleashes the right aroma from the hops and from the other ingredients. So in my opinion, it's a positive thing. You shouldn't rush. You should pour it up in the correct way instead. Now we have I would say 3-finger thick white foam crown, which is looking really nice, of course. You can put the bottle right here. You can see closer look, very typical for this Wendelstein colored lager, and a thick white foam crown also as well. Important to build up that and maintain it all the way through, as you used to say, to keep the right taste in the glass. Let's get the aroma, should we? Real fresh and nice, of course. This is a great Wendelstein colored lager, in my opinion. High quality raw materials and brewing process. That's something that's easy for me to feel in the ingredients. What does it say here on the back label? Wendelsteiner Bier, Kerwa, Seidla, Zutaten, Brauwasser, Malz, Hopfen, Hefe. Brauhaus Wendelstein, neu gegründet von Markus Gurnisch. Südring 5 90530 Wendelstein, Wendelsteiner Bier, DI, in Zusammenarbeit mit die Getränkeritter Wendelstein. Alcohol content 5.2% volume, abgefüllt durch Ritter St. Georgen Brauerei 91790 Nenslingen. Okay, so it's that brewery who Markus Gurnisch is visiting when he's brewing his beer. That makes sense, of course. Let's pour up some more of it. I really love how the foam is rising up long time after the pouring. That's really high quality sign, in my opinion. And looking at it, it looks like a great it was called Kerwa Seidla, which is a typical Franconian expression, I would say, and beautiful bubbles also rising up. Of course it's unfiltered, that's at least what it looks like. But yeah, it looks beautiful with the foam. Let's see if we can pour it up the rest. I'm not sure of that, but let's give it a try. Like that. Yeah, there we have it all into the glass. The Brauhaus Wendelstein, isn't this looking perfect? In my opinion, it looks beautiful with a big white foam crown. And yeah, let's give it a try. The Brauhaus Wendelstein. Prost. Yeah, it's of course really is a drink. Very refreshing, and it's a great example also of the style. This is a big recommendation. I really hope that you can find it, even though it might be quite hard because it seems like it's a small brewer. But please feel free to contact Markus Gurnisch and ask him if you can buy a crate. You can also contact maybe Ritter St. Georgenbräu in Nenzlingen, not the other one from Buttenheim, even though they have the same name, St. Georgenbräu. There are two different breweries. But he's very kind, so hopefully he'll be able to offer you the chance to buy it, because it's actually one of the best Wendelstein colored lagers that I've had. Really refreshing and nice, in my opinion. Let's have some information about this brewery from the brewer's website, which I'll of course link to in the description box below. My name is Markus Gurnisch. I've lived in Wendelstein for more than 50 years, so I belong to the generation that was still allowed to drink the original beers from the Wendelstein brewery. Like many Wendelsteiners, I accepted the sale and the closure of the brewery with incomprehension. What opportunities could have arisen if the Wendelstein community had taken action, bought the brewery and continued to run it? When a brewery in Spalt, which is owned by the city of Spalt and therefore the only municipal brewery in Germany, shows us that something like this works. During my studies I learned brewing and distilling schnapps in internship, and used what I learned in the years that followed and made my own beer. At first on the kitchen stove, later with a preserving machine, and now with a small brewing system. In April 2018 I was able to secure the naming rights to the Brauhaus Wendelstein and the Wendelsteiner Bier. Then I looked for ways to build up a brewery in Wendelstein again, but there is still a lack of suitable areas and rooms, so I have no choice but to use a friend's brewing equipment. Unfortunately, this means that the beer is not yet produced in Wendelstein, but I can brew my beer recipes and use all other facilities in the brewing infrastructure. I really hope that there will be an opportunity to brew in Wendelstein in the foreseeable future. The history of the former Wendelstein brewery is clear from the publications of Heinrich Schlüpfinger, Dr. Jörg Ruttroff, and numerous of authors are sufficiently documented. Therefore, here is only a brief historical summary. Georg Andreas Ammann received the brewery license in 1813 after long and tough negotiations and much resistance. After his death, the concession stays in the family and beer is brewed. Until 1969, the brewery was passed on to new owners several times. Between 1969 and 1973, beer production was relocated to the area of the former brewery cellar on Röthenbacher Straße. The brewery site in Kirchenstraße, which is no longer used, is sold to the Evangelical Lutheran parish of Wendelstein. After Wilhelms Forstner's death in 1987, the brewery is leased to Patricierbräu AG. This first rationalized the business before the brewing activity was stopped in 1990. Okay, there is much history and information about this brewery. And as I mentioned in the beginning, it's an old brewery that was closed down for many years, started up again by Markus Gurnisch, almost like the Ulrich Martin brewery, which also is an old brewery that was closed down for many years and then started up again by Ulrich Martin. That's of course a brewery that I've been reviewing from before, also telling the story in that video, so feel free to check out that as well if you're interested. But I think that's it for now regarding Wendelsteiner beer. Hope you're interested in more Franconian beer reviews, and see you again in next Franconian beer review.